Okay, you've probably heard all kinds of things about this phone. Well, I've got a few things to say. See, while it might even float in water, we want to know how long is the battery gonna last? Is it strong? How good is the cooling? How good are the cameras? And why is it priced like so? We'll talk about all of that. But first, is it even as thin as people are going crazy talking about it? Let's talk about that. B-rolls. Look guys, clearly it's the thinnest possible Android flagship you can get with the most powerful Snapdragon 8 Elite chip, and that is the headline. But what people haven't talked about is that it comes with new experiences. Like every time you pick it up, you feel, whoa, where's the rest of it? Every time I put it in my pocket, it feels like I'm sneaking it in. It's silent, no resistance. Even while placing it next to my ear, you again get reminded of how ridiculously light it is. So this lingering feeling of a new lightweight design kind of stays with you when you start using it. And just comparing it neck to neck with the S25 Ultra, you can see the difference. It's 30% thinner. That is a big deal, and while it may not even look as much, you really feel the difference when you actually hold the S25 Edge. And it's kind of weird, like good weird. Typing at first feels different, scrolling content feels different, the experience of holding it horizontally when playing a game feels different. But there are times when keeping it on a surface like a table or any hard surface, I naturally tend to be careful. Because somewhere in your mind, you think it's delicate and fragile. Because being this slim and lightweight, you can't help but think, is it tough enough? So Samsung has guarded this with a titanium frame all around. You've got Gorilla Glass Victus 2 at the back, the same as on the S25 Plus, and the display is protected using a new Gorilla Glass Ceramic 2. And that is actually 29% more damage resistant than the S25 Plus, which has the Victus 2. And this is IP68 water and dust resistant, so it's pretty solid on paper. But one of the things that becomes a quirk. But if you're interested in knowing how Samsung managed to make it that slim, they basically used slimmer camera components to reduce the space it takes inside the housing. They've installed thinner vapor chamber and a thinner mesh inside, and overall a thinner circuit board. Yeah, pretty simple. Now, while it is ultra thin and lightweight, it still does have a large 6.7-inch display, and you'd want to use both your hands to be able to use this phone confidently. The display is nearly the same as the S25 Ultra display, just a tad bit smaller and without that anti-reflective coating. It's absolutely flagship level, as you'd expect from an S25 flagship series phone. It's got the same pro scaler tech as on the S25 lineup, so it kind of upscales low quality content to look sharp on QHD Plus display. And it seriously looks absolutely amazing even in the brightest of light outdoors. It ships with default FHD Plus resolution. Now you can crank it up to QHD Plus resolution, but guys, FHD Plus on this is sufficient. QHD Plus, it's just going to drain battery on this much faster. Though I do really wish that Samsung had provided the same anti-reflective coating on this phone too, like the S25 Ultra, especially at the price that it comes for. I mean, it's just so good, right? And it's so useful outdoors. But I guess to keep it as light and thin as it is, it may have been a very intentional decision. Now, the Edge obviously has the same top-end Snapdragon 8 Elite that powers the entire S25 lineup. It's one of the absolute best chip out there, and along with 12 gigs of RAM. Obviously, it's more than capable for handling everyday tasks and gaming, including the ray tracing ability for games if and when they support that. But the question that begs to be answered is, the cooling efficiency or the thermals or heating. And so I thought, let's play Call of Duty, and I noted the temperature in the beginning, which was around 30 degrees Celsius. And after about half an hour of gameplay, it went to about 34, 35, and that's not bad considering the form factor. Overall, with maximized vapor chamber, the added graphite sheet, and using a custom cooling material, Samsung does seem to have done a pretty good job to keep it cool. But again, this is a new phone. And the true test of this actually lies over a period of time. I'm going to do a long-term review, and if you do want to catch that, you don't want to miss it, subscribe. Now, regarding the software on this, so it's pretty much the S25 Ultra with all the bells and whistles. Firstly, you get the latest One UI 7 along with the promise of 7 generations of OS upgrades and security updates. Secondly, you get the full suite of AI features that came with the S25 Ultra, each and every one of them. In fact, if you want to learn more about them, I've done a video that I shot in China where it was really useful. You can catch that video here. And third, the integration between Google Gemini and native Samsung apps is amazing. I mean, I've been using it ever since I've had the S25 Ultra. It's crazy good. So, the only way I set reminders now is through Google Gemini, which directly puts it in Samsung reminders, and I get full screen reminders which are hard to miss. Even sending messages is super easy. I just pick up and say, message Prajwal that I'm running late and I'll pick up the gear required for the shoot from the camera store. It crafts the message and just sends it. And you could do the same even through WhatsApp. You can ask it to look for restaurants around you with a certain ambience and a specific cuisine, and it'll literally pull the top ones that are around you and add it to your Samsung notes if you wanted to. And I don't know if you've tried the Google Gemini Live, but I could just activate Gemini, tap here, and point it to my wall and ask it to share ideas on how I could decorate it. It will take that visual input and give you recommendations to get you started. I mean, guys, it's One UI 7. I could do like 10 videos about it. I may actually have. But anyway, recently I put together my favorite ones. They're crazy useful, and it's amazing that people don't even know about it or they don't use it. It's great. Just watch it. I'll leave a link over here. Finally, let's talk about the cameras. So it's got pretty much the same 200 megapixel main camera as the S25 Ultra and a 12 megapixel ultra wide, but it's missing the set of telephoto lenses. Now, the only reasonable explanation behind that is that it would have made the phone thicker, and that would be in the opposite direction of what Samsung was trying to make. But can it still take flagship level photos and videos? I don't like to go off script. So here you go, guys, some photos I shot in the default 12 megapixel mode, and I have to say I'm really impressed that Samsung has really found that balance between vibrancy and a natural tone. The colors look good, the dynamic range is looking good. I mean, just look at this shot and notice that teal blue color, how nicely it's captured. Even the sun lighting up the green in the top left corner, beautiful. I also think the skies are very naturally captured, near accurate to what my eyes saw at the time. And I think all thanks to the Pro Visual Engine that's working hard in the background to really balance the colors, the white balance, the exposure, and the dynamic range. I also love the greens, they're so on point now. Now here are some shots taken indoor, guys, and again, just like outdoors, these came out very natural, and feel free to download all of these photos from the link in the description. That way you can just evaluate all of these photos for yourself. Let's also take a look at some portraits, and I believe these also came out super nice. The separation is so accurate. I love the colors captured, the skin tones, they look damn natural to me. Absolutely wonderful. Now, coming to low light, I think S25 Edge did a good job. Little to no noise, no halation around the light sources. So the S25 Edge is actually supposed to take 44% brighter low light photos than the S25 and the S25 Plus. And I think it's definitely doing something right. Oh, and if it's really dark, you could just then shift to night mode and take the same photo with much more detail and again, very well balanced noise. I mean, look at this picture. This was shot in extremely dark condition, and this is what came out when I took a shot in night mode. And finally, coming to selfies. So I took them all in portrait mode just so that we can check the separation accuracy as well as the skin tone all at once. And I have to say, this is easily Samsung's best work until now. The colors, the skin tones, the way it's creating that separation between me and the background, that gradual blurring in the background. Just seriously, download them all and have a look for yourself. I'm not sure what Samsung has done, but selfies are looking really good. I mean, easily one of the best selfies I've seen from any phone now. And by the way, the S25 Edge does have a wider front-facing camera than the S25 Base and Plus, so that means you can actually fit in more people when taking group selfies, which is fantastic. Also, the S25 Edge can take up to 4 times sharper macro photos than the S25 and the S25 Plus, and that really shows. In fact, there were times when the S25, it could not even focus properly because the subject was too close, but the S25 Edge, it latched on the subject very quickly and took really sharp macro photos. Also, the S25 Edge can shoot up to 8K videos at 30 FPS and 4K videos up to 120 FPS in Pro mode. So here's some casual 4K footage I captured while just, walking around or touring in a buggy. Like the S25 Ultra, you can expect excellent video from this phone too. Good dynamic range, very stable, and just overall a great capture. Also, let's take a look at the selfie video sample. Alright, so guys, this is a 4K video sample shot using the Galaxy S25 Edge in 4K 30 FPS. Now it can shoot up to 60 FPS, which is amazing. So, you can get slow motion front-facing camera footage also if you want. Now I do have the sun hitting directly on my face, so hopefully it's doing a pretty good job. And yeah, I'm not using any gimbal. This is shot straight from the camera and it's recording straight into the microphones of the camera. So no external stabilizer, no external mic. Now, to be clear, this is not the best camera setup, but I'd say this, the main camera is as competent as that on the S25 Ultra. It can still shoot in 4K 120fps or even 8K 30fps. The macro pictures are definitely sharper than the S25 or the S25 Plus, and the low light shots are also better in comparison with them. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, the battery life. Now, this has a 3900 mAh battery, and so the first thoughts that come to your mind are, okay, it's small. And okay, so then what's the screen on time like? So yes, 3900 mAh is definitely small by today's standards, where 5000 mAh is almost like a minimum. Now, Samsung could have given you more battery capacity, but then it wouldn't be like slim anymore. So they could have gone with the silicon carbon batteries, but like I said in my S25 Ultra review, Samsung is not going to adopt silicon carbon batteries until it's absolutely certain that it's not a hazard. And so what kind of screen on time can you expect on an average? And I was getting about 6 hours in my test while, I was using YouTube, Netflix, Google Maps, a bit of gaming, WhatsApp, Instagram, music, Slack, some email. I mean, nothing that you wouldn't do, on an average day. That's how I used it, and 6 hours is what I got. It supports standard 25 watt charging, and it takes about an hour to charge fully. It's a small battery, so. Now, if you decide to buy, there are 3 colors that the phone was globally announced in, but here in India, you get the silver and jet black. And if you pre-book on or before 29th of May, you'll actually get the 512 gigs variant for the price of 256 gigs variant. So if you're certain about buying, now is a good time as ever. Or else next year. Okay, let me try to summarize this phone for you. Practically, this is the only thinnest and lightest Android flagship with Snapdragon 8 Elite chip that you can get. And so if that's what you're looking for, or you really fancy a thin phone, this is the only globally available option you've got. Second, think of it as a special or a limited edition design variant of the Galaxy S25 lineup. And like limited edition items, it's got a premium price tag. You get a near ultra level experience, but it's thin, it's without the S Pen, without the anti-glare display, and without the telephoto. And so if you don't want all those ultra features, but you still want a really premium build smartphone that's also a style quotient, you've got it. But I do think the pricing could have been kept more competitive, and that way it would have definitely appealed to, more people, and they would have considered the phone. But honestly, guys, it is difficult to pack a large 200 megapixel sensor, even if a 3900 milliampere hour lithium-ion battery, a cooling system, wireless charging, all in this form factor. And I've seen a couple of creators ask this, that who's this phone for? Why did Samsung make it? Who's even asked for this phone? Well, who asked for the iPad? Who asked for the Galaxy Note series or really large display phones? But all those products have been super successful. Then there was also Galaxy Camera or the Galaxy Beam. That phone had a projector on it, and those products didn't take off. But that is the cost of innovation. That is the cost of experimenting. Some products do really well and some don't. And if this product takes off, I can guarantee you that a lot of other brands are just gonna go ahead and make more slim phones. And some are actually scheduled to be making them. But yeah, I'll be doing a long-term review of the Galaxy S25 Edge. I think this phone definitely needs that. But yeah, you might want to subscribe for that. Hit that bell notification icon and mark all so you get to know when that video comes out. I hope you guys did enjoy watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.